This high kick KO that happened in sparring is absolutely insane. We're going to look at this in depth. There's no two ways about it, guys. I mean, fight sports are dangerous. I say this all the time to people who are not involved in fight sports, and I say, okay, well, you know, take the pressure that you might have in any other sport, take that anxiety, take all the hard work, like all of that still exists, and then add in the fact that you can be not just embarrassed by losing, but absolutely embarrassed by getting KO'd, plus all the damage. Like, it is unique. But we do not want to see people getting flat out KO'd, unconscious, unmoving in sparring. It's terrible. And I want to look at this, number one, so we can assess what happened that was wrong from both sides, the person who gets knocked out and the person who knocked the other guy out, but also just to draw attention to this type of sparring not being necessary. Before we dive into this though, I want to remind everybody that over at Strike Ready, where you can get access to all my courses, my 7 training courses with the Vault, there's a huge July sale that ends in 3 days. I guess 3 days now that you have left to grab that. If that's something you're interested in, you want to up your striking skills to a higher level, hit that link down below. In addition, awesome t-shirt or a tank top from X Marshall. They have so much cool gear. If you need some new apparel, hit that link down below and use my promo code VARGA15 to save yourself 15%. So the very first thing that we are going to assess here, well, who's sparring? I don't know the dude who gets knocked out, but Kato, he's the guy who delivers the knockout. He is a 1FC fighter, a high-level Japanese 1FC fighter. And right away, as they are standing in position, you can see Kaito's got that hands high, real hands high position, no holes, direct when he throws his jab, right down the center, does not expose his head. Beautiful work. His opponent, on the other hand, he's got more of that low hand position. And somebody like myself, if you were to watch Jeff Chan spar and me spar, we have that very different style. I'm hands here, Jeff is down here. The thing about Jeff that he will tell you is he does not put his hands down here and stand just within range. He's out here. And if you're going to do that hands low thing, you got to be aware that even a little move forward, if the other guy throws the punch, you're going to eat it. And that's exactly what happens here. Once he gets hit and he eats that jab, then he goes to throw a punch. Right? He gets hit, he goes to throw his punch, which he was already planning on doing, and his other hand is down. If you are leaning your head off the center line ever to throw across an overhand, you need to pace this hand to your head. Even if you're somebody who started with your hands here, why not bring that hand up? So at least until you're back to this safe position, you know you're not going to eat the kick. Now this kick is delivered with high intensity, no control, pretty massive follow through, and whew, it's just one of those shots that the dude did not see coming because he eats a shot right beforehand. He's probably a little bit blinded, and that's when those KO shots are so dangerous, when you do not see a kick or a punch come. Full shin pad does not help because in Japan they don't have cushy shin pads. They're hard. Along with Kato's gloves, when you look at them, those gloves look really small to me, and they're not sparring with control over there. It's dangerous and sad to see, in my opinion, but they are sparring hard. And that kick could have easily been pulled or controlled, especially when you look at the fact that Kato's opponent, he gets hit, he goes to throw the punch, he starts fading backwards, and then he gets hit. It's not even like he leaned into it. Right? That kick had bad intentions, big follow through, and man, it's not good. You absolutely should not be throwing high kicks like this in sparring. I just did a video the other day saying that if you cannot control a technique, you should not be throwing the technique. And there was ample opportunity there, in my opinion, to pull. Now I want to do 2 things here. I want to, number one, look at the comments that were below this video that I saw. I want to make sure that we understand exactly what people around the world are saying about this. I think that will be very interesting. Number 2, which we'll jump into right now, I want to talk about what you should be doing when somebody gets KO'd. And, you know, very often when somebody gets KO'd, they're totally conscious, right? They're not unconscious, they're conscious. This dude did not look like he was aware whatsoever what was happening, and he's just lying on the ground. The first thing that you're going to be checking for, as opposed to just standing there like everybody who's just watching this, first thing you're going to be looking for is the person breathing, right? We're looking for breath. Is there anything that needs to be done in terms of that? Now, we always talk about when somebody gets KO'd, we're looking for potential spine injuries and such. You don't want them back injuries, spine injuries, and you don't want to just go about moving them, but you need to make sure that they are breathing and the airways are not restricted. And yes, of course, I'm not a medical professional. So, you know, if you're going to be somebody who's dealing with the situation, do your own research. But as I understand, once you see somebody's fine, you want to make sure that they can breathe properly. And sometimes it requires moving them to the side so they don't have that tongue impairing the breath. But I saw in the comments, people being like, oh my smokes, nobody's doing anything. Like, really, what are you going to do? Right? You can go over, maybe remove the person's mouth guard, make sure they're breathing, and you got to let the person get back to conscious, as far as I understand. So, sketchy situation. Like, I don't even really know what I would do if I was there. I definitely wouldn't just stand there and be like, oh, I'd be running over, checking the basic vital signs and such. But it's scary when stuff like this happens, and it absolutely should not happen, right? Even myself, I've accidentally dropped people in sparring, but it's just, you know, and they happen to go down, right? Little clip, and they're like, boom, and they're back up. I always pull my kicks. I always pull my big punches. And so let's go and look at some of the comments to this massive sparring KO. All right, first comment. Yeah, not great. All the CTE with no medical staff on hand. Just dumb practice all around. Absolutely, it's dumb. Accidents do happen, but that's an accident that should not happen. Not to that extent. And yes, no medical staff on hand. Absolutely. Like I was saying, I wouldn't know 100% what to do. And that's the reason that we have doctors at fights. It's that Asians, mainly Japanese, try not to end your careers in sparring. Challenge impossible. Yes, well, the Japanese do spar very hard. I've noticed that when I see videos. I've heard that they spar very hard. It's one of the reasons I've never been like, oh, I want to go to Japan and do hard rounds over there. Japanese kickboxers are the most brain dead. They got that samurai mindset. They absolutely do, but it is unnecessary damage, and they're not even in the ring. Yes. Says, I'm changing gyms if I get KO'd, and everybody just stares in silence. Yes, absolutely. That's not what you want. You do not want to be getting big KOs. Yeah, it's great sparring etiquette, sarcastically said. Enjoying being diapers at 60. Again, this person, why is everybody just blankly staring? Like, are you idiots or what? And like I said, you know, I don't know 100% the protocol on dealing with somebody knocked out, but I definitely would not just be standing there with a blank face. That's for sure. Yes, here we have somebody say what I said. Are those, like, what size are they? Those even look like small 10-ounce to me. Oh my gosh. Another comment about not checking. Yeah, so a lot of these are already what I said, and good thought processes. Absolutely. You guys have to be realistic with your sparring, recognize it's not a fight, and keep each other safe, because yes, CTE is still real. This is very dangerous, and even though it's a fun sport, we need to be responsible.